Hi friends, in this video we are going to be talking about our vocabulary strategy for the week, which is prefixes and suffixes. And so what you're going to need are your listening ears and your looking eyes. Alrighty, let's get started. Let's hop right into it. What is a prefix? A prefix is a group of letters added to the beginning of a word to make a new word. So everybody repeat after me. Say prefix. At the beginning. Prefix. At the beginning. Alrighty. What does that mean, Mr. Garte? Don't worry, I will show you. So, the prefix re means again. And let's look at how we can change the meaning of a word using the prefix re. These two letters are E. So on page 13 of Peter's chair, there's a word here that I want to draw our attention to. In this third sentence, it said, second sentence, it says, it's painted pink too. I want to draw our attention specifically to this word right here. Painted. Now we have the word painted and then we add re in front of painted and what do we get? Repainted, 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 repainted. So now instead of just saying it's painted pink, Peter could say it's repainted. Now, what does repainted mean? Repainted means that it is painted again. It means to paint again. It means that it is painted again. So, Peter could have said, that's my crib. It's repainted pink too. It's painted again a different color. So now let's look at some other words and how we can change the meaning of those words with the prefix re. So we have our word wash here, and then we add the prefix re in front of wash, and what do we get? Re-wash, re-wash, re-wash. Re-wash. So re-wash means to wash again. And if we were to use this word in a sentence, my mom needs to re-wash my clothes. My mom needs to wash my clothes again. Let's look at another example. We have the word play. And then we add re in front of play. And what do we get? Replay. And so if rewash is to wash again, replay is to play again. To play again. And so if we were to use that word as an example in a sentence, can you replay that? Can you play that again? Let's look at one more word for prefix. We have the word use. If we add the prefix re to use, what do we get? Reuse, reuse, reuse. So if rewash is to wash again, replay is to play again, reuse must mean to use again. If we were to use reuse in a sentence, I can reuse this. I can use this again. Now let's talk about suffixes. So a suffix is a group of letters that's added to the end of a word to make a new word. So everybody repeat after me and say suffix. At the end of a word. Suffix. At the end of a word. the beginning of a word. Suffix, at the end of a word. Oh yeah. And so we're going to talk about one specific suffix for this video. And the suffix we are going to be looking at is the suffix full, F-U-L, and it means full of. So in Peter's chair on page 11, Dad asks, would you like to help paint would you like to help paint sister's high chair? And the word that I want to focus on and draw our attention to is the word help. Now, we all know what it means to help somebody. But when we have the word help, and then we put the suffix full at the end, what word do we get? Helpful, 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 helpful. Helpful. And so helpful means full of help. So now we're going to look at some other words that we can change the meaning for just by adding the suffix full at the end. So we have the word care, and then we add full to the end. What word do we get? Careful, careful, careful. Careful. And so careful means full of care. And if we were to use the word careful in a sentence, I was careful when I held the baby. I was full of care when I held the baby. Let's look at the next word. We have the word joy. Then we add full to the end of joy, and what do we get? Joyful, joyful, joyful. Joyful. And so careful means full of care. Joyful means full of joy. And to use this as an example in a sentence, she is so joyful. She is so full of joy. My next word is the word use. So we have the word use, and then we add full to the end of use, and what do we get? Useful, 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 useful. Useful. So if careful means full of care, and joyful means full of joy, useful means full of use. An example of this in a sentence is, this is very useful. This is very full of use. I can do a lot of things with this because this is very useful. It's challenge time. Are you ready for my challenge? So here's what is going to happen. I want you to tell me what word I should use. I'm going to have a sentence up. So our first sentence is, the pool of sharks was full of harm. Which word should I use? Should I use the pool of sharks? Should I use the pool of sharks? What word should I use? Should I use reharm? The pool of sharks was reharm? Or should I use harmful? The pool of sharks was harmful. Show me with your thumbs. The pool of sharks was harmful. The pool of sharks was harmful. And harmful means full of harm. Here's our next example. Please play again the story for us. Am I going to use replay? Please replay the story for us. Or am I going to use playful? Please playful the story for us. Please replay the story for us. Replay. And replay means to play again. Let's look at one more example. Please use again the water bottle I gave you. Am I going to use reuse? Please reuse the water bottle I gave you? Or useful? Please useful the water bottle I gave you. Please reuse the water bottle I gave you. And reuse means to use again. So always remember, friends, that you can change the meaning of words with a prefix at the beginning and a suffix at the end. Repeat after me. Prefix at the beginning. Suffix at the end. So now I want you guys to talk with your class about what other words could you make using the prefix re and the suffix full. Think about it.